The next phrase is tend to do something. To tend to do something means to do something regularly or usually. She tends to wake up early every day. This means she usually wakes up early each day. He tends to be very quiet in the mornings. This means he is usually quiet in the mornings. I tend to forget things when I'm stressed. This means I usually forget things when I am feeling stressed. The next word is tension. Tension refers to the feeling of stress or anxiety, or the physical state of being stretched tight. There was a lot of tension in the room during the meeting. This means people felt nervous or stressed during the meeting. The tension in the rope made it hard to pull. This means the rope was tight and stretched, making it difficult to pull. You could feel the tension between the two leaders. This means there was a sense of disagreement or hostility between them. The next word is terminal. Terminal refers to something that is the last part of a process or something that is related to the end of life. He was diagnosed with a terminal illness. This means he was diagnosed with a disease that will eventually cause death. The terminal station is where the train stops at the end of the line. This means the station is where the train journey finishes. She works at the airport terminal helping passengers. This means she works in the area of the airport where people board flights. The next word is terms. Terms can refer to conditions or the way things are arranged or agreed upon. We agreed on the terms of the contract. This means we decided on the conditions or rules of the contract. The teacher explained the terms of the assignment. This means the teacher explained the details or requirements of the task. Their friendship ended on bad terms. This means their relationship ended with negative feelings or conflict. The next word is terrace. A terrace is a flat area of land or a platform, often outside, that is used for sitting or walking. They have a lovely terrace at the back of their house. This means they have a nice, flat outdoor area at the rear of their house. She enjoys sitting on the terrace in the evening. This means she likes to sit on the outdoor platform in the evening. The terrace overlooks the garden. This means the flat outdoor area has a view of the garden. The next word is terrify. To terrify means to cause someone to feel extreme fear. The horror movie terrified me. This means the movie made me feel very scared. The loud noise terrified the children. This means the noise frightened the children a lot. The thought of failing the exam terrifies him. This means he feels very scared about the idea of failing the exam. The next word is terrifying. Terrifying describes something that causes extreme fear. The haunted house was terrifying. This means the haunted house made me feel very scared. He had a terrifying experience during the storm. This means he had an experience that was extremely frightening during the storm. The idea of being lost in the city is terrifying to her. This means the thought of being lost in the city makes her feel very afraid. The next word is territory. Territory refers to an area of land that is owned or controlled by someone or something. The lion marks its territory to warn other animals. This means the lion marks its area to show other animals it is its space. The country's territory includes many islands. This means the land controlled by the country includes several islands. The dog defended its territory from the intruder. This means the dog protected its area from the stranger. The next word is terror. Terror refers to extreme fear or dread. The horror movie filled me with terror. This means the movie made me very afraid. The town was in terror after hearing about the attack. This means the people in the town were extremely frightened after the attack. The sound of the thunder struck terror in the children. This means the loud thunder made the children feel very scared. The next word is terrorism. Terrorism refers to the use of violence or threats to create fear for political or religious reasons. The government is working hard to prevent terrorism. This means the government is trying to stop violent attacks for political or religious purposes. Terrorism often causes widespread fear in society. This means acts of terrorism cause many people to feel scared. The country is fighting terrorism to protect its citizens. This means the country is taking action to stop terrorism and keep people safe. The next word is terrorist. A terrorist is a person who uses violence or threats to achieve political or religious goals. The police arrested a terrorist who planned an attack. This means the police caught a person who was planning a violent act. The terrorist group claimed responsibility for the bombing. This means the group of people who commit violent acts said they were responsible for the bombing. The country's leaders met to discuss how to fight terrorism and prevent terrorist attacks. This means the country's leaders met to plan how to stop acts of violence for political reasons. The next phrase is thanks to somebody. Thanks to somebody means because of someone's help or influence. Thanks to her help, I finished the project on time. This means I was able to finish the project on time because she helped me. Thanks to the teacher's guidance, he passed the exam. This means he passed the exam because of the teacher's help. Thanks to his hard work, the team won the championship. This means the team won the championship because of his effort. The next phrase is thanks to something. Thanks to something means because of something that happened or existed. Thanks to the rain, the garden looks beautiful. This means the garden looks beautiful because of the rain. Thanks to technology, communication has become much faster. This means communication has become faster because of technology. Thanks to the new law, the environment is protected more. This means the environment is better protected because of the new law. The next phrase is the air. The air refers to the mixture of gases that we breathe, or the atmosphere around us. She opened the window to let in some fresh air. This means she opened the window to let in fresh gases from outside. The air was cold and crisp in the morning. This means the atmosphere was cold and fresh in the morning. He could feel the air moving as the wind blew. This means he could feel the movement of the atmosphere when the wind blew. The next phrase is the atmosphere. The atmosphere refers to the air and gases surrounding Earth, or the general feeling or mood of a place or situation. The atmosphere on the beach was peaceful and relaxing. This means the general mood or feeling at the beach was calm and soothing. The atmosphere in the room became tense during the meeting. This means the feeling or mood in the room became uncomfortable or uneasy during the meeting. The atmosphere of the planet is made up of oxygen and other gases. This means the air surrounding the Earth is made of different gases, including oxygen. The next phrase is the basics. The basics refer to the fundamental or most important parts of something. Let's start with the basics before moving on to more advanced topics. This means we will focus on the simplest and most important concepts first. You need to understand the basics of cooking before trying complicated recipes. This means you should learn the essential cooking skills before attempting complex dishes. Knowing the basics of the language will help you communicate better. This means understanding the fundamental elements of the language will make communication easier. The next phrase is the best yet. The best yet means something is the best it has been so far. This performance is the best yet in the competition. This means this performance is better than all the previous ones in the competition. Her latest book is the best yet in her writing career. This means her newest book is better than all the previous ones she has written. This movie was the best yet in the series. This means this movie is the best one in the series so far. The next phrase is the worst yet. The worst yet means something is the worst it has been so far. This is the worst yet season of the show. This means this season of the show is the most disappointing so far. The storm was the worst yet this year. This means the storm was the most severe one this year. His performance was the worst yet in the competition. This means his performance was worse than all the others in the competition. The next phrase is the charts. The charts refer to a collection of data or rankings, especially in music, sales, or statistics. Her song reached the top of the charts. This means her song became the most popular on the ranking list. The movie stayed at number 1 on the charts for weeks. This means the movie was the most popular for weeks. He's been on the charts for over a decade. This means he has been consistently ranked highly in music or sales over a long period. The next phrase is the club scene. The club scene refers to the social or entertainment activities that take place in nightclubs or similar places. He's very active in the club scene, going out every weekend. This means he often goes to nightclubs and participates in nightlife activities. The club scene in this city is lively and exciting. This means the nightlife in this city is full of energy and fun. Many people enjoy the club scene for dancing and socializing. This means people go to clubs to dance and meet others. The next phrase is the gay scene. The gay scene refers to social or cultural activities often related to the LGBTQ plus community. The gay scene in the city is vibrant and diverse. This means the LGBTQ plus community in the city is active and varied. He is very involved in the gay scene, attending events and supporting causes. This means he takes part in LGBTQ plus activities and helps with related issues. The gay scene in this area is welcoming and inclusive. This means the LGBTQ plus community in this area is friendly and open to everyone. The next phrase is the music scene. The music scene refers to the world of music, including performances, genres, and cultural activities related to music. The music scene in this city is constantly evolving with new artists. This means the music world in the city is always changing with fresh talent. He's been part of the music scene for over a decade. This means he has been involved in the music industry for a long time. The music scene in the 90s was dominated by grunge and hip-hop. This means the popular music styles of the 90s were grunge and hip-hop. The next phrase is the art scene. The art scene refers to the cultural and social activities related to visual arts, such as painting, sculpture, and exhibitions. The art scene in New York City is one of the most influential in the world. This means New York City is a major center for art and art-related activities. She's an artist deeply involved in the contemporary art scene. This means she actively participates in modern art activities. The art scene in this town is thriving with new galleries and events. This means the local art community is growing and active with exhibitions and shows. The next phrase is the day before last. The day before last refers to 2 days ago. I met him the day before last at the conference. This means I met him 2 days ago at the conference. The day before last, we had a big meeting at work. This means we had a meeting 2 days ago at work. She called me the day before last to discuss the project. This means she called me 2 days ago to talk about the project. The next phrase is the week before last. The week before last refers to the week before the previous one. The week before last, I went on vacation to the beach. This means I went on vacation the week before last. We had a team building event the week before last. This means the event took place the week before last. The week before last was very busy at work. This means I had a lot of work the week before last. The next phrase is the year before last. The year before last refers to the year before the previous one. The year before last, they moved to a new house. This means they moved to a new house 2 years ago. I traveled to Japan the year before last. This means I went to Japan 2 years ago. The year before last, I started my new job. This means I began my new job 2 years ago. The next phrase is the 80s. The 80s refers to the decade from 1980 to 1989. The 80s were known for their colorful fashion and music. This means the decade of the 1980s was famous for vibrant styles and popular music. I was born in the 80s and grew up in the 90s. This means I was born during the 1980s and spent my childhood in the 1990s. The 80s saw the rise of iconic pop stars like Michael Jackson. This means the 1980s were when famous artists like Michael Jackson became popular. The next phrase is the elder. The elder refers to an older person, often someone respected due to age or experience. In many cultures, the elder is respected for their wisdom and experience. This means older people are honored for their knowledge and life experience. The elder in the community shared important traditions with the younger generation. This means the older person taught valuable customs and knowledge to younger people. The elder members of the family often give advice on important decisions. This means older family members usually provide guidance on major life choices. The next phrase is the eldest. The eldest refers to the oldest person in a group, especially in a family. She is the eldest of 3 siblings. This means she is the oldest among her 3 brothers and sisters. The eldest child in the family usually has more responsibilities. This means the oldest child often has to take on more duties. The eldest member of the group gave the opening speech. This means the oldest person in the group delivered the first speech. The next phrase is the fact of the matter is. The fact of the matter is used to introduce the truth or reality of a situation, often in contrast to what others may believe. The fact of the matter is we don't have enough time to finish the project. This means the real truth is that we are running out of time to complete the project. I thought I was going to be late, but The fact of the matter is, I arrived early. This means the truth is I arrived earlier than I expected. The fact of the matter is, you need to work harder to pass the exam. This means the reality is you have to put in more effort to succeed. The next phrase is the 50s. The 50s refers to the decade from 1950 to 1959. The 50s were a time of significant cultural changes in the United States. This means the decade of the 1950s saw many cultural shifts in the U.S. She was born in the 50s and remembers the fashion trends of that time. This means she was born during the 1950s and recalls the style of that era. The 50s saw the rise of rock and roll music. This means the 1950s was the period when rock and roll music became popular. The next phrase is the first person. The first person refers to the grammatical person used by the speaker to refer to themselves, such as I or we. In the first person, you talk about yourself, like saying going to the store. This means in the first person form, the speaker uses I to talk about themselves. When writing in the first person, it is easier to express personal thoughts and feelings. This means using I in writing helps convey personal opinions. The first person is commonly used in diaries and autobiographies. This means I is often used when writing personal stories or life histories. The next phrase is the following. The following refers to something that comes next or is listed after. Please read the following paragraph carefully. This means you should read the next paragraph with attention. The following items are on sale this week. This means the items listed below are available at a discount this week. I will discuss the following points in my presentation. This means I will talk about the points that come next in my presentation. The next phrase is the former. The former refers to the first of two things or people mentioned. The former president of the company retired last year. This means the person who was president of the company before has retired. He is the former champion of the tournament. This means he was the winner of the tournament in the past. The former version of the software was easier to use. This means the previous version of the software was simpler. The next phrase is the 40s. The 40s refers to the decade from 1940 to 1949. The 40s were marked by World War II and its aftermath. This means the 1940s were influenced by World War II and its effects. She was born in the 40s during a time of great historical events. This means she was born in the 1940s, a period of significant history. The 40s brought major changes in technology and society. This means the 1940s saw important developments in both technology and social structures. The next phrase is the headlines. The headlines refer to the most important news stories, often displayed in large text. The headlines this morning were about the election results. This means the major news stories today focused on the election outcomes. She made the headlines for her groundbreaking research. This means her research became widely reported as a top news story. The headlines were filled with shocking news about the scandal. This means the top news stories covered the surprising details of the scandal. The next phrase is the hell. The hell is used informally or emphatically to express disbelief, frustration, or surprise. What the hell is going on here? This means you're confused or surprised by what's happening. Why the hell did you do that? This means you're frustrated or angry about someone's actions. The hell with it. I'm leaving. This means you're expressing frustration and deciding to give up or leave. The next phrase is the last. The last refers to the final item in a sequence or the most recent. He was the last to arrive at the party. This means he came to the party after everyone else. This is the last opportunity to register for the event. This means this is the final chance to sign up for the event. She gave the last speech of the evening. This means she delivered the final speech at the event. The next phrase is the last minute. The last minute refers to the final possible time to do something before it's too late. He completed his homework at the last minute. This means he finished his homework just before the deadline. We decided to book the flight at the last minute. This means we waited until the very end to book the flight. They called us at the last minute to cancel the meeting. This means they contacted us just before the meeting was about to start to cancel it. The next phrase is the last person. The last person refers to the final individual in a group or sequence. She was the last person to leave the office. This means she was the final person to exit the office. The last person I spoke to was the manager. This means the most recent person I talked to was the manager. He was the last person to notice the mistake. This means he was the final one to realize the error. The next phrase is the last thing. The last thing refers to the final action, event, or thing that happens or is mentioned. The last thing I want to do is disappoint you. This means the final thing I want to do is let you down. The last thing he said before leaving was goodbye. This means his final words before leaving were goodbye. The last thing I need right now is more work. This means I don't want any more work at the moment. The next phrase is the latter. The latter refers to the second of two things or people mentioned. I prefer the latter option between the two choices. This means I choose the second option over the first. She was offered a job in New York or London, and she chose the latter. This means she decided to take the job in London. The latter part of the movie was much more exciting. This means the second half of the movie was more thrilling than the first. The next phrase is the law. The law refers to the system of rules that a society follows, often enforced by authorities. He is studying law at university. This means he is studying the legal system and how laws work. Breaking the law can result in serious consequences. This means violating the rules set by the authorities can lead to punishment. She was arrested for breaking the law. This means she was taken by the police for committing a crime. The next phrase is the look of somebody. The look of somebody refers to their appearance or facial expression. She has the look of someone who's been working hard. This means she looks tired or like she's been putting in effort. He had the worried look of a man facing a difficult situation. This means his expression showed he was anxious or troubled. The look of joy on her face was unmistakable. This means her facial expression clearly showed happiness. The next phrase is the look of something. The look of something refers to its overall appearance or visual impression. The look of the new building is modern and sleek. This means the building appears modern and stylish. I didn't like the look of that restaurant. This means the appearance of the restaurant didn't appeal to me. The look of the sunset over the ocean was breathtaking. This means the view of the sunset was very beautiful and impressive. The next phrase is the main thing. The main thing refers to the most important or central aspect of something. The main thing is to stay calm during an emergency. This means the most important action is to remain calm when something urgent happens. The main thing I want to say is that I appreciate your help. This means the key point I want to communicate is my gratitude. In this project, the main thing is meeting the deadline. This means the most important aspect of the project is finishing it on time. The next phrase is the media. The media refers to the various forms of communication, such as newspapers, television, and the internet, used to inform or entertain the public. The media has been covering the election results nonstop. This means the news sources have been reporting continuously about the election outcomes. She works in the media industry as a journalist. This means her job is related to news or information distribution. The media plays a large role in shaping public opinion. This means the ways the media communicates have a big influence on people's beliefs. The next phrase is the 90s. The 90s refers to the decade from 1990 to 1999. The fashion trends of the 90s are making a comeback. This means styles from the 1990s are becoming popular again. I grew up in the 90s, so I love that era's music. This means I was young during the 1990s, and I enjoy the music from that time. The 90s was a time of technological change. This means during the 1990s, significant advances in technology, like the internet, occurred. The next phrase is the other way round. The other way round means the opposite or reverse of what was stated. He was supposed to go to the office, but he went home the other way round. This means instead of going to the office, he went home. You think I should help him, but it's actually the other way round. This means it's the opposite. I should be the one receiving help. She thought the two books were similar, but the truth was the other way round. This means the two books were actually very different from each other. The next phrase is the other way around. The other way around means the opposite or reverse of what was stated. He thought she was upset with him, but it was the other way around. This means she was actually upset, not him. The door opens to the right, not the other way around. This means the door opens to the right, not the left. He blamed her for the mistake, but it was the other way around. This means he should have been blamed for the mistake, not her. The next phrase is the outside. The outside refers to the outer part or surface of something, or the area beyond a building. We spent the afternoon playing outside. This means we were playing in the open air, not inside. The outside of the house needs to be painted. This means the exterior part of the house requires painting. She looked out the window to see the outside world. This means she looked outside to observe what was happening in the open air. The next phrase is the perfect tense. The perfect tense refers to a verb tense used to express actions that have been completed at a certain time. I have finished my homework. This means I completed my homework at some point before now. She had already left when I arrived. This means she left before I arrived. They will have completed the project by next week. This means they will finish the project before next week. The next phrase is the point. The point refers to the main idea or most important part of something. The point of the meeting was to discuss new strategies. This means the main purpose of the meeting was to talk about strategies. I don't understand the point of this exercise. This means I don't understand the reason or purpose of the exercise. The point of the story is that kindness matters. This means the main lesson of the story is the importance of kindness. The next phrase is the press. The press refers to the media, especially newspapers and journalists who report news. The press has been covering the president's speech all day. This means news outlets have been reporting on the president's speech continuously. The press asked many questions at the press conference. This means journalists were asking questions during the event. The press plays an important role in spreading information. This means the media is crucial for sharing news and updates with the public. The next phrase is the pros and cons. The pros and cons refer to the advantages and disadvantages of something. We are still weighing the pros and cons of moving to a new city. This means we are considering both the benefits and drawbacks of moving. The pros and cons of the new policy were discussed in the meeting. This means the advantages and disadvantages of the policy were talked about. Before making a decision, it's important to consider the pros and cons. This means it's essential to think about both the good and bad sides before deciding. The next phrase is the reality of something. The reality of something refers to the true or actual situation as opposed to what was expected or imagined. The reality of living in a big city is much more challenging than I thought. This means living in a big city is harder than I expected. The reality of the job is different from the description in the ad. This means the actual work is not what was promised or expected. We must face the reality of the situation and find a solution. This means we have to deal with the true nature of the situation and figure out how to address it. The next phrase is the realities of something. The realities of something refer to the true practical aspects or situations of a particular thing, as opposed to any idealistic or imagined views. The realities of owning a business can be very challenging. This means running a business involves difficult situations that are often not easy. The realities of living in a foreign country are not always what people expect. This means that life in another country can have challenges that people may not have thought about. After the honeymoon phase, the realities of marriage set in. This means the true everyday challenges of marriage become apparent after the initial excitement. The next phrase is the sack. The sack means to dismiss someone from their job or position. He got the sack after being late for work several times. This means he was fired because he was repeatedly late. She received the sack for not meeting the company's sales targets. This means she was fired because she failed to meet the expected performance goals. He was worried about getting the sack if he made another mistake. This means he feared being fired for making another error at work. The next phrase is the second person. The second person refers to the grammatical form used to address someone directly, using you. In this sentence, the second person is you. This means the word you is being used to directly address someone. When giving instructions, the second person is often used. This means instructions are typically given using the word you, like, you should do this. The second person is used when the speaker is talking directly to the listener. This means the speaker addresses the person they are speaking to using you. The next phrase is the secret. The secret refers to something that is kept hidden or unknown, usually intentionally. He told me a secret about his plans for the future. This means he shared something personal and private with me. She kept the secret of the surprise party for weeks. This means she did not tell anyone about the party until the right time. The secret to success is hard work and perseverance. This means the key to being successful is putting in effort and not giving up. The next phrase is the 70s. The 70s refers to the decade from 1970 to 1979. The music in the 70s was full of disco and rock. This means the popular music style during the 1970s included disco and rock genres. He was born in the 70s and remembers the fashion from that time. This means he was born in the 1970s and recalls the clothing styles of that decade. The 70s were known for their unique cultural and social movements. This means the 1970s had important changes in society and culture.